Welcome to the attendance grade tracker. So I'm going to walk through it with you, and hopefully it'll help you to see that this is a very easy to use solution, but it is optional. You do not have to use this solution, but it is available if you want to. So the first thing that you're going to notice is that it's going to open up with this security warning banner across the top. So the first thing you want to do is click enable content, and that will go away. And then you're going to want to make a copy of it because you're going to use a different copy for each course. So I'm going to go to File and do a Save As. I'm going to put my course name in front of it that I'm going to use this copy for. It's Attendance Grade Tracker. Go ahead and save that. Once that's ready to go, you'll notice that there are these little sticky note looking things. They are instructions. Once you're familiar with how to use the solution, you won't need those instructions anymore. So you can simply click on them and hit your backspace key. And so now it's nice and clean. We can do this. So I'm going to go ahead and put my course name in this cell first. I'm just going to CP Biology. A couple things to make note of right from the get-go. You do not want to change anything that's in a shaded cell. So that includes this table up here. It includes these tables over here. These are all driven by formulas, and you want to leave them be. All right. Anything that's white, like the excused days and things like that, you're going to be able to change the data that's in those cells. So the first thing we need to do is we need to get our roster into our spreadsheet solution. And for that, I have made what I call the roster maker. And there are instructions on this page as well, but the first thing we need to do is jump to our course page. So here's my CP Biology page, and we're going to go to the grade book. I'm actually going to export the grade book. And then we're going to select Gradebook as CSV. That's the option that you want to use. And then click Next. And it downloads down here. We can go ahead and click that, and it'll open up in Excel. You can see that we have first name and last name in separate columns. So I'm going to click on the first name and go to this last name column. I'm going to select all the way down to the bottom. Select all my students, and I'm going to simply copy. Okay, you can also use Control-C, and then I'm going to switch back to my grade attendance tracker, and I'm going to paste. I'm going to select column A2 or cell A2, and I'm going to do Control-V, or you can do right-click and just paste. And it adds the first name in the first name column, the last name in the last name column. And then it automatically combines the names for you, which is what we need on our roster in order for it to match the attendance reports. So I'm going to click this button, Make My Roster. And you see that now it jumps to the attendance page and pastes in my roster names for me. So now I have all my students in my roster. Now I'm going to take attendance, so that's very easy as well. I'm going to jump back to my CP Biology course. I'm going to go to my main page or materials page. Go to my live class recordings. I'm going to go to the little circle and with the dots in it called Session Options. I'm going to click on there for my session, and I'm going to go to View Reports. And this has attendance reports for each day. So we started school for core classes on the 2nd. Your mileage may vary if you teach an elective, or 9-2. I had 22 attendees. That's the correct report I need. So I'm going to click View Report. And then I'm going to click the little link here that says Export to CSV. If I click on that, it's going to download a CSV file, which will open in Excel. Okay, and as you can see, the very first column has my name. So I'm going to highlight all the names. I'm going to copy that. I use Control-C, tab back to my attendance tracker, and I'm going to go to Q1 reports. Now there are instructions here too that tell you all of these steps that I'm showing you. So I'm going to get rid of that because I don't need it anymore. What you'll notice is that all of the days, according to our school calendar, that we should be having live classes, at least for core curriculum, are already in here, and that goes for all 4 quarters. Another thing to note is that once you get to the halfway point of the quarter, the banner does change color. So you know that 10-2 is the last day of the first half of quarter 1. 10-5 is where the second half begins. But for 9-2's report, I'm going to go to A3, and I'm going to Control V and paste in the names. Now what you'll notice is some of the names are green and some of the names are black. What this tells me is that if the name is green, that means that there is a match for this name on my attendance report. So one of the names over here matches with the names here. If it's black, that means this name is not on my roster. So Celine is not on my roster. Obviously, I'm not on my roster because I'm not a student. Why is this important? Well, it's possible that if you provide a guest link to your students, when they log in, they type in their own name. They might only type in their first name. They might type in a nickname. They might type in their name wrong. It will show up in black font color, and you will be able to correct that right here on this sheet. So let's say Cole comes in with the guest link, and he misses the Y key on his keyboard and doesn't realize it, and so he logs in as Cole McCaffert. I can see, oh, Cole's last name is McCafferty. He forgot the Y. I can add the Y, and now it's going to count him as being in attendance. If it's black, it's not counting that instance for attendance. So for some reason, Selena Schaefer's not on my roster, probably because she got moved to a different course. She was in my course on the 2nd of September, but she's no longer in my course as of today, at least, because this is looking through the list of names and then looking through the roster and seeing if there's a match. If there's a match, then it's going to count one. So let's go over here and look at what this does. So number of live classes attended, and if I go up to the top for Dylan Bailey is 0, so that means he's not on my list. But if I go down to McCafferty, here's Cole McCafferty, and you can see that he's been counted as attending 1 class. There's a total number of 22 live classes scheduled for the first half of the first quarter, I should say. So currently right now he's earned 2 points towards the 50 he'll get for the first half of the first quarter, okay? Because it's 100 points total for the quarter. So this is counting up to 50, and then when we get to the second half, we'll use this. Now, if Cole was excused for the 2nd of September, I don't have to really keep track of which days he was excused on this spreadsheet. That might be something you want to do, but I don't have to do that. I can just type a 1 here, and what that will do is adjust the base total here. So now you see that Cole is being calculated. His points are being calculated based on 21 base days, and so he's attended a class 1 time out of the 21 that he'll be required to be at. Now, if I know he's going to be out for a full week and it's excused, I could put a 5 in there, and so his score will be based off of 17 points. So 1 divided by 17 gives me a calculation of 3 points for him. So if it were the end of the quarter, I would put in 3 points for him. If he only attended 1 class for that half of the quarter at the midpoint, but he was excused for 5 of them, he would get a grand total of 3 points out of 50 for his attendance or lack thereof. So that's pretty much how this works. Now, a couple of other caveats. If you have a day where you're not teaching live class because you're out that day and it's just going to be 1 day, so you're just canceling class for that day, if you have approval to do that, you do not have to come in and delete that day out of this tracker. Just skip it. Because all's the Q1 reports and Q2 reports, they're just looking through each list. If there's nothing there, it doesn't count anything. It doesn't have to make any effect on the results on the attendance page. And that's it. Thanks for watching, and I hope